Hey Future Ready Talent, I'm Sonu Bardai and this is my project submission for the internship program. I have left a few timestamps in the description below for you guys to navigate through the video and go through all the topics that I've covered. So first I'm going to start by demonstrating the project itself. I'm going to go over the Azure services that I've used throughout the project, and then I'm going to take you through the code where I've made the REST API calls to the resources. And yeah, let's get started. So first things first, this is a real estate marketplace project where I have created a web application where people can come over and buy or sell their properties. So this is the landing page of the web application. As I've said, this is a project created for the Microsoft Future Ready Talent Internship Program. I have listed the services that I have used in the application, which we will go through later in the video. And I have linked the GitHub repository that contains the code for the web app. Here's the link to the hosted web app. So I can click here and I will be sent back to the same app. Here are the login and register route for the application. So if a user comes to the app, they have to register. Uh, so let me go ahead and create a user. I'm just gonna put in test user at gmail.com, and I'm gonna put in a password. Sign up. So I am redirected to the login page. I'm just gonna put in the test user. Yep. So we're logged in now. I can go over to the profile and change my username and email ID and so on. List new property. I can use this to list a new property to the dashboard. I'm gonna go over the dashboard for now and show you what we've got there. Yeah. So this is this is the dashboard that you are gonna land on. You're gonna find all the properties that are listed by people here. Here's the search bar that you can use to filter out the properties. You can click on the each property and look at the details and stuff. These are the tags associated with the listing, and I have given a note here that the above tags are generated by an Azure computer vision resource when the property is listed. So every time a property is listed, let's say I list a new property using this option, I can put in the title, the description, the location of the property, the size, number of bedrooms, prices, and so on. Here's the main part, the image. So I can upload an image of the property using this option. So let's say I'm gonna upload this image, and I can upload multiple images, but there has to be at least one image uploaded. When I submit this property, this image will be sent to the Azure Computer Vision resource, which will spit out a bunch of tags that are associated with the image that it has seen. These tags can then be used by buyers to filter out the property. So I can use those tags to filter out properties uh, in this search bar. So if I type in beach, and it's going to show me all the houses that are near beaches, because the Azure Computer Vision used the image to figure out that this property is near a beach. So this is useful for buyers to filter out the properties that they are actually interested in, and using the characteristics that are seen in the images. Let me just quickly list a new property for you and show you how the tags are generated by computer vision. So I'm just gonna put in a few random details. Here's the image. Submit. As you can see, here's the property that we just listed. I'm gonna go and click on this, and as you can see, here are the tags that were automatically generated by the computer vision resource. It used this image to see that there's a tree in the image. As you can see, there's grass, outdoor, sky. So people, let's say someone is looking for a house that has grass in the front yard, so they can just write in grass, and it's going to show all the properties. Here's the property that we just listed. There are all the these are all the properties that have the tag grass. So this was the main functionality of computer vision that I've used in the project. Other than that, these are all the Azure services that I'm using in the application that I just demonstrated. The web app is used for hosting the application. I'm using an Azure Postgres database server to store all the properties, property details, the user details, and so on. The storage account is being used to store the pictures of the properties, and computer vision is generating the tags associated with each of the properties. Here's my Azure portal. I have created a resource group for the Future Ready Talent project. These are all the resources that I'm using in the project. This is the computer vision resource. This is the application web app, which is used for hosting the application. This is the database PostgreSQL, and this is the storage account, which is, let me show you, this is storing the images associated with the properties. So if I go into containers, media, property pics, these are all the images that were uploaded to the application. I can also put in multiple filters in the search. So for example, if I write in beach Mumbai, so it's going to show me all the beach houses that are in Mumbai. Alright, so I'm here in my text editor, and I'm going to show you all the code that I'm using to make all the REST API calls. So first, let's go over the database connection that I've made, which is in the project folder, settings. Here, then the username, password, everything has been put in this .env file, which I have ignored in while pushing it to GitHub. So that will be present in this environment file. This does the job of connecting the application to the Azure SQL database. Moving on to the storage account. Here are all the settings associated with Azure storage. So first, I have created two separate containers for storing the images associated with the property. So as you can see, media and static are the two folders which are given as locations. Then there's the account name and the domain name, which are again put in the .env file. Similarly, the URLs for both the folders have been put in the .env file. These are necessary to be kept as a secret, but I just put them in the .env file anyway. And finally, here's the file, the custom Azure file that uh, does the job of creating a class for the media container and the static container. The account name and key are obviously to be kept as a secret and not to be pushed to GitHub. So now coming to the computer vision module of the project, This is the generate vision module that I've separately created in the backend, uh, and this vision file takes care of making the API calls and returning the tags that were sent back by Azure. So I have used this library, which is provided by Azure. This can be used to make the API calls and sending in the API key, the endpoints, and so on, and returning the tags. So I have created two functions here. The first one takes the URL of the image, and the second one takes in the image directly. So I have used both of these in different cases throughout the project. Some were used in the dashboard, and the other one was used during the listing of the property. So when we send in the image URL, we first open the image as a binary stream and send in the binary stream in the client, which is connected to the Azure resource. The response is given back, and we return the tags. Similarly, we don't have to read the binary in the case where we are directly given the image, and we can just take the tags from the function. So that does it with the coding part of the project. I have shown you all the API calls that I've made uh, uh, to the resources in Azure. I've covered the PostgreSQL API calls, the storage account, and the computer vision API calls. After finishing the implementation of the project, I have hosted it using the Azure extension that is available in Visual Studio Code. I can use this. I created a new web app right here. I created a new web app from the extension and deployed it directly from Visual Studio Code. So that does it for the project. Thank you so much for sticking around. I have left the links to the project and the repository in the description. Thanks so much once again.